Hi, Kathy. Thank you for hopping on. Really, really appreciate, your time, to be able to chat a little bit about what each other does. And so happy for you to be here. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Durham, North Carolina, where it's kind of cloudy. This is kind of my front yard. People think it's my backyard, but it's a little like cozy. So that's why I kind of decided it's a jammy day.
That's awesome. So we're going to be talking to each other's audiences, and our topic is the bundle that we're both contributing for, the Ultimate Vegan Health and Weight Loss Bundle. And before we get into that, I would love to kind of, set an introduction for the both of us. Just really hearing about, who you are, why you do what you do, and and then we'll just go from there. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm Kathy Hester, and I blog at healthyslowcooking.com, plantbasedinstantpot.com. I'm the author of 10 traditionally published vegan cookbooks. I teach Kathy's Cooking Club, I teach live classes twice a month, and you get access to over 90 classes that have been filmed live. I kind of came vegan 5 years ago, but my meatless story goes way further back than that. Back to 1983 when I became vegetarian. And then I was working on my first cookbook in about 2010. And that's when I started transitioning to plant-based eating. What about you?
So for me, I started, so for Kathy's audience, I'm Dr. Colin Zhu, also known as TheChefDoc, based in Southern California. And I'm a physician by trade, and we teach others on learning how to thrive. And we do that by Thrive Medicine, Lifestyle Medicine, and Culinary Medicine. And to answer your question, I come from a Chinese household. I'm first generation, Chinese American. And so my parents came in the early 80s. And we grew up eating very traditional Cantonese style cooking. But it was very balanced. We had equal portions of everything. And, it's just one of those cultural contexts of, balance and harmony and all that, yin and yang and feng shui and all that. And that also applies to food. And so when I became a physician, going through those routes and understanding that, as a physician, I wasn't really taught that much in terms of nutrition and lifestyle. I took it upon myself to make a lot of detours. So fast forward, a few years, a decade and a half, and, I transitioned to whole food plant-based in 2014 after my first marathon. Because I really wanted to see how it would work for performance and recovery. And pretty much suffice to say, I didn't look back. And this is how I teach my patients as well. And it's important to live by example.
I love that. I like that a lot. Kind of my philosophy is, because I don't really tell people, because I'm not a doctor, right, what they should and shouldn't do. But what I do is create recipes and support to help them transition to the diet that they choose. So like if you're doing something for Dr. Colin or Chef AJ or Dr. Furman or Dr. Campbell or whoever that you've decided to follow, or whatever your specific health needs are, my recipes can be tailored to fit into those. And I think it's really important to embrace everyone, because the more support we get on our journey, the easier it is to do.
For sure, for sure. And I think, it's important to, continue to emphasize and convey that, you're not alone. I think, with the pandemic, it's very easy, literally and mentally and emotionally to, feel like you're operating in a silo. And obviously, the virtual world kind of exploded, even more with people getting more online to stay connected. But in change, the trade-off is that, you are physically less connected, and, we're very social beings. And I think with you and me, we have that strong connection of food And, having that food aspect, it also builds up more social connection and also that community, which is also very, very important. My question to you is, how did you get into cooking? Was there a certain point in your life or some experience?
That's a great question, because my mom, I grew up in the 70s. And so in the 70s in the US, especially, everything came out of a box or a freezer box. It was like whatever we talk about now being processed, it was like the beginning and the accepting of it all. So, and that's why I became vegetarian, was I saw a side of beef on a hook and I was like, oh, and it made that connection. Whereas in the grocery store I grew up at, even there was styrofoam bottoms and plastic on vegetables, just like meat. So
Mm,
when I went to grad school, well, when I became vegetarian in 1983, I had to learn how to cook. And that's right around when I was starting to cook, and meat just really grossed me out. So that's me
mm,
personally. I'm not saying that's how other people should feel or come to this. So I got my mind open to so many different cuisines as I started learning to cook meatless, right?
mm,
And I'm from the South. So they put fat back in green beans and, different smoky elements. And I can recreate all of that. Whole food, plant-based, no oil as well. So you don't have to miss out on anything. But when I went to grad school, I was super poor.
mm.
And I cooked for everyone. So I'd be like, you bring the carrot, you bring the celery, you bring this. And I would cook every night for everyone. And I had a slow cooker, my mom's old slow cooker that, you can't even take the crock out. And we cooked in that every night. And I can look back now and see that that's when I really started understanding how to develop flavors. I am not professionally trained chef,
Mhm,
but I've had chef friends come to me for advice on their dishes too.
mm,
So I feel like I have a really good handle on flavors and how to start to do that. And a great, easy trick is if you have a stew and you're tasting it, or soup, it's missing something and you've got a spice. So let's pretend
mhm.
this is a pot. This is my spice. And you go, smell them in together. Your mind will go yum or yuck. Listen to it
Okay.
and then go on. And
Mm,
it changes everything. That's how I make my own spice blends. That's how I go on and try and copy other, like maybe recipes that I've had out. If I find some dish out, you can really recreate it. And it helps you build confidence, because people think,
mm,
I don't know what's good.
mhm.
You do.
Yeah, I think for some, it may be that, they're intimidated, by the kitchen. As what I do for culinary medicine, I continue to emphasize that, your health starts in the kitchen, because, what's going into your food. And I tell people that if you outsource, quote unquote, outsource your food out elsewhere, people don't pay attention to your health. At the end of the day, the bottom line is their profit margin, right? And so it's really the onus of you taking back your own health. And I love, what you said about, different techniques, and, it's building that confidence. And I think with confidence, even if you have the knowledge, without that confidence, you're not going to be motivated enough to actually apply, certain recipes. And I think that's super, super important.
And you can even count a recipe. Like if you're just starting, if you've gotten the bundle and you're like, woohoo, I'm going to go plant-based, find a couple things that appeal to you that maybe seem like something you think you might be missing. Like I know Chef Julia has Japanese recipes, right? So if you're like, ooh, I love going to the Japanese restaurant every week, that's a really good way to transition and just pick a couple of things. But
Hmm.
it also counts making baked potatoes and steaming frozen vegetables, and maybe making a puree of some things to make a sauce.
Yeah.
That's cooking too. It doesn't always feel like it. Like sometimes, cheater food is only cheater if you don't end up with a lovely, nutritious meal.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think it's important to, emphasize that cooking, there's a love for it. I would like to believe that everyone's a foodie at heart, right? And food, connects us in different ways, right? Emotionally, culturally, politically, financially, and it's just, we can't live without it. And so our, lived experience and interpretations of it, varies, and I think that makes it fun. Let's talk about the bundle. What it is, what are people, getting and our contributions.
Well, and I'd also like to say it's like vegan Christmas out there, y'all. So there are lives like this going on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube all week long. So go out there, take a look at all these different wonderful people and see if you might fit in their communities too. So, but my bundle, I made a mini bundle to go in the bundle, and I called it the Kitchen Appliance Whisperer because sometimes I've been called the appliance whisperer. So I have a lot of my books revolve around air fryers, instant pots, slow cookers. Not because I think they're cool and I want to get into them, which is how it always starts, but because I think it can be easier. It can make that process easier. If you have an hour to cook a fancy meal start to finish, yay. But some days you won't. So it's nice. I have a class in there that has all the recipes for slow cooker and instant pot. So you get to pick. Slow cookers are great if you've got some energy in the morning, can throw everything in, and then magically dinner is ready when you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
If mornings are not your thing, Instant Pot's great because if you have a little bit of energy left when you come home from work, you can throw everything in the Instant Pot and also still have a nice dinner, right? So it's a
I love
win-win.
it. For sure.
And the air fryers are great because when a lot of people, when they go whole food plant-based, one of the things they miss is a crispiness.
Mm-hmm.
Which is available in whole food plant-based, but the air fryer gets kind of a lot of excitement because you can take a can of chickpeas, right? Put that always has their magic aquafaba on it, so it'll stick a nice spice blend to it. Put it in your air fryer, oven if you don't have one, and cook till they're crispy and put those on salads and potatoes and as garnishes. And then I have a dehydrator class. And it's just basic dehydrator powder. So we make vegetable bouillon powdered from vegetables, which sounds crazy, but look on any of the powders that you buy in the store. There's like maltodextrin and sugar and oil and all these crazy things. And when things are in season, like blueberries, I got a couple of flats of blueberries, dehydrated some of them, powdered some of them. Can do that with strawberries. So you can have your own strawberry quick made with homemade oat milk or cashew milk.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, just to orient people who haven't heard of the bundle yet. So the bundle is it's live and released right now. There's only a limited time access from February 3rd and it ends February 12th, 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. And it's essentially, Kathy, it's like over 100, contributions. It's like a $6,000 value and you're only paying $49 for it. My contributions, I have a couple of them. One of them is a audio course. It's a whole food plant-based audio course 101, and it's a essentials on teaching others on how to transition, what to stock in their fridge and pantry, how to navigate a supermarket, basic, kitchen utensils and appliances, which would actually pair well with your contribution. I love it because it's very important to delegate, right? Because time is always fleeting. And then number two is I have a 21-day challenge to my book, Thrive Medicine. And Thrive Medicine is partly a memoir as well as a personal development book. And the 21-day challenge is a video companion alongside with the book on audio, which is narrated by me. And it helps us to kind of reset and go and strive towards a positive, mindset shift. And it's great for milestones, new year, new beginnings. So yeah, those are my, contributions and and it's a limited time offer. So Kathy, thank you so much. Do you have any parting words as we get into the swing of things?
The only thing I would say is if you would spend $49 to go out to eat, and if you're eating something vegan out, it costs more than $49 right now if there are two of you. If you would buy a couple of cookbooks, if you would like to have a resources of information that maybe some you use now, some you use in 6 months, and some you use in a year, so it's going to keep growing with you, go ahead and get the bundle. If you saw the bundle last year and this year are completely different components. You won't be rebuying anything. Everything in the 2023 bundle is brand new.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And we made it a point to be able to make sure that you guys have fresh new content, especially for the ones that are repeating for this year. Kathy, thank you so much for hopping on, and thank you for your audience for tuning in. And yeah, we're really excited, and we'll see you guys in the bundle. So Kathy, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.